As real estate professionals, one of the most common questions that we're asked by landlords and prospective landlords is, how's the market? Without a doubt, the Austin area rental market is doing well and continues to be stable. But even within that stability, our market is a dynamic one. And like the stock market, rents will increase or decrease or adjust based upon supply and demand economics and what the consumer will bear or pay within the market. In recent years, we've had robust increases in population and employment, and Austin was repeatedly being listed in various business journals as one of the best places to move for starting a new business, for raising a family, and for overall quality of life enjoyment. So demand was going up, supply of available homes decreased, and as a result, rents went up, quite a bit in some areas. At any given time, there were only a handful of homes available, and applicants were often frustrated because by the time they would go to turn in their applications, the homes were gone. Over these last 2 years, however, renters have been feeling the crunch because their salaries just haven't increased as aggressively as the rents have. So from that angle, the overall cost of living has increased, and many of them, if they didn't decide to buy a home or couldn't buy a home, decided it would be cheaper to stay where they are. As a result, the vacant properties hitting the market didn't have the same demand. Property managers citywide were asking, where are the renters? And yet, we also knew where they were. They were still in the homes they'd been in the previous years. The other thing that was happening was the shift in demand, that renters were deciding that amid the higher prices, they needed to make some choices. There was a new trend unfolding. Instead of choosing larger homes and extra living spaces, they instead were leaning to only the number of bedrooms that they required and foregoing the additional space, and choosing homes that were cheaper. And unlike in the previous years, there was now enough vacancy in the inventory that put some power back in the hands of the renters. From the property manager perspective, we could see the shift by watching the MLS data and seeing what was leasing, at what prices, and how long it was taking for the homes to get leased. And it was happening citywide. Savvy property managers were watching the market and making recommendations to their landlord clients that rents were in fact adjusting economically, especially in the off-season when there were fewer renters moving. From a strategic standpoint, when you see the market shifting and rents adjusting, usually the best thing to do is for landlords to shift with it in order to get the property leased quickly. Going counter to the trending pattern, how those landlords who were holding strong in their desire to get the higher rents was instead resulting in well over 30, 60, 90, 100 plus days to get leased. Ultimately, it was still requiring the landlords to drop their prices, but then they also had additional vacancy loss that couldn't be made up. On March the 22nd, the U.S. Census Bureau released the results of its 2017 yearly population estimates, and what they revealed shows that while Texas continues to be a red-hot destination for newcomers, the Austin Round Rock area is adding fewer people than in past years. It's not time to panic. In 2017, Austin still had 55,269 newcomers, and that's only a small percentage less than the 58,301 that had moved here in the year before. Make no mistake, all signs still point to a very healthy market ahead for us, with continued construction of new residential communities, offices, condominiums, and mixed-use residential and commercial facilities all across the city. So what does that mean for landlords? Well, first, it's not likely that homes are going to become less expensive in the next 3 to 5 years. So if you're considering purchase of additional rentals, now is probably the time to do it. Secondly, while we may still be in a period of slight adjustment or correction, I do believe that it's a temporary one. Work with your property manager to seek to understand what's going on in the neighborhood of your rental investment. We have the data, and we can spot these recent trends, and will make recommendations for lease renewals and vacancies based upon the most up-to-date, real-time reporting. It's far more realistic and accurate than you're going to hear in the news. Stay realistic, and you'll minimize the potential of pushing your renter to move out and avoid lengthening vacancies if you do have a move out. The face of our market and our city is changing. Affordable housing will continue to be a hot topic in our social media channels. If you're a renter, affordability is going to continue to be a concern. Less likely if you're moving here from California or New York. But if you're a landlord, it's safe to say that your investment will continue to hold strong. So keep property conditions updated and in good repair so that it stands out and justifies higher rent prices ahead. I'm Greg Fedro with Scribe Residential Management, and if you're not already a Scribe client, call me today at 512-345-9886 and put our experience in the market to work for you.